Life is too short for long-term grudges. A failure is an option here. If things are not failing, you are not innovating enough. I don't create companies for the sake of creating companies, but to get things done. It's very important to like the people you work with. Otherwise, life and your job is going to be quite miserable. There's a tremendous bias against taking risks. Everyone is trying to optimize their ass covering. The first step is to establish that something is possible. Then probability will occur. You get paid in direct proportion to the difficulty of problems you solve. What makes innovative thinking happen? I think it's really a mindset. You have to decide. That's my lesson for taking a vacation. Vacation will kill you. For my part, I will never give up, and I mean never. You should take the approach that you're wrong. Your goal is to be less wrong. Disruptive technology, where you really have a big technology, discontinuity tends to come from new companies. I think it's very important to have a feedback loop where you're constantly thinking about what you've done and how you could be doing it better. Don't delude yourself into thinking something's working when it's not, or you're going to get fixated on a bad solution. I've actually not read any books on time management. You have to say, well, why did it succeed where others did not? Persistence is very important. You should not give up unless you are forced to give up. I don't think it's a good idea to plan to sell a company. It's okay to have your eggs in one basket, as long as you control what happens to that basket. Constantly seek criticism. A well-thought-out critique of whatever you're doing is as valuable as gold. I could either watch it happen or be a part of it. Failure is an option here. If things are not failing, you are not innovating enough. Great companies are built on great products. The key test for an acronym is to ask whether it helps or hurts communication. Some people don't like change, but you need to embrace change if the alternative is disaster. When something is important enough, you do it even if the odds are not in your favor. I'd rather be optimistic and wrong than pessimistic and right. Most people can learn a lot, more than they think they can. If you get up in the morning and think the future is going to be better, it is a bright day. Otherwise, it's not. If humanity doesn't land on Mars in my lifetime, I would be very disappointed. Ancient Greece had it all and then committed suicide. Nobody digs your grave better than yourself. I would like to die on Mars, just not on impact. I say something, and then it usually happens. Maybe not on schedule, but it usually happens. If you have anyone who can do a better job, please let me know. They can have the job. Is there someone who can do the job better? They can have the reins right now. And we need things in life that are exciting and inspiring. It can't just be about solving some awful problem. There have to be reasons to get up in the morning. I don't spend my time pontificating about high-concept things. I spend my time solving engineering and manufacturing problems. If you're trying to create a company, it's like baking a cake. You have to have all the ingredients in the right proportion. I would tell those people they will get to see their families a lot when we go bankrupt. You have to be pretty driven to make it happen. Otherwise, you will just make yourself miserable. People work better when they know what the goal is and why. It is important that people look forward to coming to work in the morning and enjoy working. I think we have a duty to maintain the light of consciousness, to make sure it continues into the future. People should pursue what they are passionate about. That will make them happier than pretty much anything else. Entrepreneurship is like eating glass and walking on hot coals at the same time. I think you should always bear in mind that entropy is not on your side. Patience is a virtue, and I'm learning patience. It's a tough lesson. My biggest mistake is probably weighing too much on someone's talent and not someone's personality. I think it matters whether someone has a good heart. Really pay attention to negative feedback and solicit it, particularly from friends. Hardly anyone does that, and it's incredibly helpful. Life has to be about more just solving problems. If all that life is about is solving problems, why bother getting up in the mornings? I'm personally a moderate and a registered independent, so I'm not strongly Democratic or strongly Republican. I would only call someone an idiot if people were mistakenly under the impression that the person was smart. Engineering is the closest thing to magic that exists in the world. I think it is possible for ordinary people to choose to be extraordinary. Starting and growing a business is as much about the innovation, drive, and determination of the people behind it as the product they sell.